hopefully we got this all out the way, and this is a new wave for everybody with the Gemini. It don't sound like it, but it used to be a lot more like this also in the 80s, you know, right before they started crack down on this kind of thing. This was sexual liberation going on. And a part of that was, you know, a lot of people didn't have a lot of issues with these things, but then this confusion started coming along. And when that happened, you know, it's also, you know, a big reason why people turn to substances. You know, if you're bisexual and you don't know it, you will turn to substances to just to be around people. Uh, like when you go to a club or you just go to an event, you have to drink something. If you're bisexual and you don't know it, you'd have to drink something because there's so many guys around you. There'd be guys everywhere, um, and there'd be all this energy around. It's like this, and you won't feel you just will not feel okay around them, because you don't know that you're bisexual. So if you don't know, and there's a whole bunch of guys around you, you have to drink something, right? And females are the same way, you know. So there's a bunch of girls everywhere, and they go to some event, and there's girls everywhere, and you start comparing. Look, bisexual, and you don't know it. Bunch of guys everywhere. You start comparing. You start competing. Um, then you have to drink something, right? You got to use some substance. You gotta you gotta start certain energies in you. Astrologically, you're gonna have to access just to deal with all these other conflicting energies around because of the instability of something that's innately in you, which is your bisexuality. Okay, when you're bisexual and you know it, then you don't have any. Look, you don't have any issue with homosexuals anymore, do you? You won't have any issues with other heterosexuals now, do you? No. Okay. If you're bisexual and you don't know it, you'll have issues with homosexuals. You have issues with heterosexuals. You'll have issues with human beings, just generally. You'll have issues with people just can live at all. People living, because you won't be able to properly. You'll have all kind of issues, and then now everyone has those issues. Okay, honestly, it's the main cause of a lot of grievances that the world wonders about. And they wonder and wonder, say, why would anyone ever do these things? Because you know why? Because they're bisexual and they don't know it. That's why. And I'm telling you the truth. Because they're bisexual and they don't know it. That's the only reason why. That's it. Honestly, it's sad. It's a sad story because there's a lot of dead people today who they live their whole life and everything you say, why they do all this? If you see, look at their life, you say, why they do all that? And the only reason why is because they was a bisexual and they didn't know it. That's it. This just this thing. No, I'm telling you, this is so important to society in history that In fact, we can go and look back at all of historical reference of things and get a new understanding of the history of a lot of different cultures. Just knowing that, just knowing this here is how most of the world ever existed. Like, and then everything kind of clicks and makes sense about Egyptian culture, Roman culture, Greek culture, you know, all these different ancient civilizations that we don't understand why they didn't have any racism, they didn't have any issues with like the kind of thing. Why? Because all those things that I'm talking about, like that, come from people who are bisexual and they don't know it. Those are people who make race. Those are people who segregate. Those are people who then say we have to we have to discriminate against other groups. We have to colonize and we have to do this and we have to do that. If you're bisexual, you don't know it. You would do all of these things. You would do all of these things. A female would try to put herself in the most powerful position just to suppress the entire planet. If she's bisexual, she didn't know it. She would do this. Yes, and she did it already because she was bisexual. She didn't know it. If a female knew she was bisexual, right, she wouldn't have no issues with men. She wouldn't have had to suppress men because she wouldn't have felt no greater. She would not have felt as if she would be deprived of any aspect of what she is empowered to be inherently due to relations with a man. She'd have never felt that way if she understood her bisexuality. She'd have never thought that. She'd have never felt that. But because they didn't know that and they were bisexual, and this is a very Byzantine thing, by the way. Byzantine, Persian, Egyptian, they understand bisexuality very much. They know it. But the world, again, a lot of different aspects of history you can chalk up to the misunderstanding of bisexuality. And always it was that the Byzantines and the Persians and stuff like this were always seen like oddities to the world. They say, what the fuck? These are weird ass people, you know. Look what they do. And everyone look at them like something weird with them, you know. Something off with them. Because they and it was kind of and it kind of was because what they were doing was something so ahead and so advanced. Look how advanced it is. We're in 2025 and I'm telling you about this. And many of you don't even know about it. So what they were involved in doing is a so advanced kind of thing. It's so ahead of its time spiritually. And um now you don't understand. Now you can understand. What causes all this? What causes all this? Um Again, I'm gonna talk about another thing with females just generally. A female is either a child or mature. She is never an old person. She never gets unhealthy. That's not what a female does. A female does not become, a female does not go from being healthy and then steadily decline in health. That's not what females do. Okay? Females, they this is what how female process goes. They are they are a child, then they hit puberty, and then they're mature. Then they mature through that experience. Okay? And then that's it. There's no other form of female. They don't go into decline. The reason why you all believe that the processes go from this to decline is because you don't understand. Because people that are bisexual don't know it, created the world like this so that you think that's the process of events. You go through this, and then you go through, and then you steadily decline. Why? Why? Because they want you to believe that you get the best of someone at an earlier age, okay, and then you steadily decline as time goes on. When if you understood bisexual, and the only reason why you would want people to believe that is that you're bisexual, you didn't know it. You're bisexual, you didn't know it. You would want them to think, oh, you get the best of me at an early age, and then because that's the best I could give you, right? and and then I steadily decline into not being able to give you as much as time goes on. Why would anybody want you to think that? Wouldn't it be natural to think that if when by the time you ever get into a relationship with me, you get the best of me, and then it just keeps getting better and better and better and better and better and better and better. That's what you will want people to actually think, right? And the reason why the world doesn't want you to think this way is because when you are bisexual, you don't know it, you have nothing to offer, but you want to have sex. You understand? If you're bisexual, you don't know it, and you're confused about this, you will have nothing to offer a female whatsoever. And but you want to have sex, and you know if you had sex with a female also, you would progressively have less and less to offer as time goes on to that relationship, because you don't actually want to be with them. Like I told you, there's no interest in actually being with the female. If you're bisexual, you don't know it, you don't actually have any interest to be with a female. You just want to have sex with them. And so you don't have anything to offer them apart from a lie, apart from the illusion that things are best at an earlier age for us to do this. And then things will progressively decline as time goes on. So we got to get in good when we have the chance. This is what bisexual who doesn't understand they're bisexual would want you to believe. When if you were bisexual, you understand it and you knew it, you would never want them to think that. You would say, oh no, no. Um, Obviously, this is not the best of me. I'm still young. I can't be in a relationship. You know that. You see? And when I do get in a relationship with somebody, I'll have a lot to offer them. And it's only gonna get better and better and better and better and better from there. We don't go into any decline. This is what heterosexuals believe also. This heterosexual just naturally think like this. Right? All the heterosexuals, if you're actually heterosexual, this is exactly how they think. And and like I was saying about heterosexuals, they don't have sex is the next thing about the sex being taboo in the world at all, is that, and it's so interesting that heterosexuals are innately uh, against all forms of sexuality because it distracts from the nature of actual relations. So that's why sex seems taboo in the world at all. Anything sexual seems taboo in the world. Naturally, because heterosexuals instinctively know that any form of sex is any form of what sexuality is disrespectful to what is what is supposed to be for and only consented in a proper heterosexual relations. And heterosexuals instinctively know this, and they despise any form of sexuality because that is only for those who are involved already in heterosexual relations. And if you haven't been in a heterosexual relation yet, right? And someone comes along and there's they're with doing all this sexual stuff, and you're not even in a relationship yet, that heterosexual, that's a big turnoff for heterosexuals. It's a big taboo. It's really like, oh no, they don't like it. Heterosexual males and females don't like it. And homosexuals don't like it either. Homosexuals don't like it either. Um, most of the world is bisexual because bisexuals will not have the same kind of issue with it. They will not have the same exact kind of issue with that kind of thing. Uh, Except for when it comes to their heterosexual relationship. So, and this is important to understand, I'm telling you, because bisexual will have no issue, have no issue with any form of sexuality except for when it comes to their heterosexual relations. It's almost like if when you're bisexual, you know that you're in a heterosexual relation already. It's almost like that, you know. And you may not know who the person is, but you just like you're already dedicated in your heart, in your mind, and your being to that relationship, and you have respect for that potential. You understand? And you do not want anyone disrespecting that potential, whoever that potentially may be. You understand? But outside of that, everything is fine for bisexuals about sexuality. But if you don't know you're bisexual, then the adverse would be true. Everything would not be fine with your sexuality. Everything would not be fine with your sexuality. In fact, then you'll be so enamored with sexuality, trying to be comfortable with it and having issues with it and don't know why and don't understand and you'll be confused and you figure out why, how come I can't find my heterosexual partner and why does it seem like this and this and this and this. All these things will start to happen. Bisexual, you don't know it. Okay? This is what happens in bisexual and you don't know it. Many people in the world today who are adults today are bisexual and they don't know it. And they don't know it. Okay? Y'all is bi-fucking sexual. Let me tell you, a lot of the things that have only recently been able to occur are very bisexual in nature. Just the doing of these things. Okay? That we could just like just using social media is like a very bisexual thing. a lot of a lot of the format of doing things is very bisexual in nature. Us being involved in it is very bisexual. Heterosexual would just not really do certain things, like Instagram. Heterosexual might not even have Instagrams. They don't even use it because it's disrespectful to the relation. Bisexual use it, uh, but they will only use it in a specific context, which is in respect to the potential of their heterosexual relations. All of them do this today. They do this today. Um, but because they don't understand they're bisexual And that's the main reason why they even use social media still. And they don't know it. They're ruining everything for themselves because they give them make themselves accessible uh, to people uh, who they don't want to be accessed by. You understand? And they do that, and they don't know that they're doing that. Okay, and it's disturbing, honestly, because they do this, and how do you not? How is it possible you don't know that you're doing that? And the only way you could be possibly do that kind of thing is if you're bisexual and you didn't know that. You would feel the need to give access of yourself to those kind of people who you don't want to have access to you. You feel the need to do it if you're bisexual and you didn't know it, because you would say that other group are the ones who must be actually uh, who I have to protect and who I have to preserve and who I have to make sure that they, and this is that not true. That is a big error. Get that one wrong. Okay, very big error. When if you were bisexual, you knew it, you'd have no disturbance within your being about your sexuality. So then you would those other groups you not give access to, but you would know naturally who you align with, which would be other bisexuals, right? And you will respect the other groups for what they are. And as a bisexual, as a bisexual, um, you have no issue with your sexuality at all anymore. You don't have any insecurity about yourself whatsoever. And when you present yourself or you do anything as a bisexual, everyone knows the strictness. All bisexuals know what I'm talking about when I say this. They know that to be a bisexual means you have no interest in a relationship except for one that meets the standards of heterosexuality. That you're not into no fuck shit. That you're not into that kind of doing all that. Everyone knows it right away if they're bisexual. See how the difference? So when people approach anything anyone does, then they know that they're bisexual, they don't start thinking sexually. Because they understand, oh, they understand what bisexuality is. And they understand, you know, that's completely off limits. If you don't understand this, there'll be people crossing those boundaries regularly because they don't understand they're bisexual. They'll be crossing that boundary specifically. The heterosexual one, the relational one, they'll be crossing that boundary. And you will try to, you will even be crossing that boundary, try to seek relations with people like you could just do have relations with people like that. If you didn't understand you was bisexual, you would try to be having relationships with people just like that. Why would you ever listen? Bisexual don't try to have no fuck. Listen. Bisexuals don't try to go into no relationship like that. Bisexual don't have no relationships like this. Bisexual, when they're in a relationship, is just as powerful, just as important as a heterosexual's relations. And they'll only have that kind of relationship with another person who's bisexual only. You understand? And that is a specific individual who is of the opposite gender, okay? And not someone of the same gender. Okay? Today, there's a lot of guys who are bisexual don't know it, they will behave, they act like a faggot, which means they're not a man. Because men, males don't, males are just naturally heterosexual. Okay, that's gender role. So if a male is bisexual, he doesn't know it, he gonna act like a faggot, which means he's gonna act like a female. He'll be acting like a female, and when he's acting like a female, what's happening there is that he's literally acting as if he wants to be in a relationship with another female as bisexual. So females that are bisexual will be available, are and they don't know they're bisexual, don't understand what's going on, because they are potentially available to be with other females when they're bisexual, and they don't know it, right? But not in a relationship. But not in a relationship. Just sexually, okay? Um, just for sex, not relationally, because relations for bisexuals are heterosexual, is opposite gender, and there's a very strong boundary on that to where it doesn't interact with anything else. That's a bisexual. Um, but these males will cross this boundary, acting like you, acting like females. Okay, um, they do, they do it all the time, very disrespectfully. And if you're a bisexual female, you don't know it. You will feel like, what? Well, why am I? Why do I not like this? Why? You will still feel like this. You'll be like, well, I don't see why would I have an issue with it. It's nothing wrong, you know, because, and you will feel like this kind of way about it. Like, I don't see what's the issue, because that's a guy. Isn't that a guy? But it's not. That's why you have an issue with it, because it's not a guy. Guys don't do that. Heterosexuals don't never do that shit. That's why heterosexuals hate that shit. Heterosexual will never do that kind of fucking shit. Okay? Heterosexual don't seek sex with people, with another person. It's all relations. And heterosexual sex is taboo, very taboo in all heterosexuals. So just naturally, just understand, for the female, sex is taboo. For the male, sex is taboo. Sex is only a thing that people investigate and have interest in if they're bisexuals, and only in other bisexuals. And it had nothing to do with relations. And usually the ones that they want to have sex with are of the same gender. And if it's not, it's because they must know each other. They must be friends or something like that. And I'm not talking about, when I say friends, I'm not talking about acquaintances. I'm talking about, like, they're actually friends. Okay? And this is a very rare scenario that I'm talking about. They're actually friends. Okay? And they when they have sex, usually, if it's male and female doing it as friends, it's because they were bisexual and they didn't know it. Okay? That's the only time that really ever occurs. Because they're bisexual and they really don't know it. And they were friends with somebody. Males don't have friends, female males don't have female friends like that. So, and they didn't kind of know, and then they end up having sex, but they didn't want to have a relationship. So understand. So so this happens a lot. Um, but the bisexual female, she is interested to have sex with female, though, in a specific context. And same thing for a bisexual male. And here we're going to talk about the bisexual male. Bisexual males want to have sex with other guys. they do. This is important to understand. Uh, they do in a specific context. And that's how you know. That's what I was telling y'all, that males have counterparts too. And it's just fine that they do. And in this kind of way, they do. And respect that they do. Because once y'all understand what I'm telling you, we'll live in a lot of better world. Because a lot of males are born specifically to be counterparts to other males in this kind of way. Because they were meant to be, actually. And they never actually were able to be, because the nature of existence we live in today, where you just can't do that kind of thing due to heterosexuals taboo against sex not being fully properly understood. Bisexual wants to have sex with other men, because that's, in ancient times, people learned sexuality openly. Okay, in the Romans, sex is everywhere. They said you can't go anywhere and not see sex someplace. So sex with other men is not an issue. Um, in India, you see sex everywhere. Sex is not taboo. Uh, in a bisexual world, because they understand it, because they're mature about it and they understand it. Um, and the same goes, should go in a heterosexual world. Sex is not taboo in a heterosexual world. That when you understand it, um, understand the nature why it's ever taboo, and understand the context of it, and understand these things. There's no issue with sex in the heterosexual world. There's only issue for sex in a world full of bisexuals who don't understand the nature of their sexuality. Then there's a big issue with sex everywhere, all over the fucking globe, and it will be very perverted everywhere, because of this. Bisexual men want to have sex with guys, and they don't want to have any relationship with them. Okay? And they're very much interested in it. They enjoy it. They have a really good time having sex with guys. They don't want any relationship with them like that. They'll be good friends with them, but it's not a relationship. It's just as much. It's honestly the same thing for them, uh, as what you see with with these guys who don't want to be in a relationship with females. And you say, "What? Well, why? I thought we had a good time. We were good together." This is the same emotion. It's the same thing. It's just, this is not this is not what heterosexual relations are. You understand? So bisexuals are just the same way, just code like this about it. But they would have sex. But they would have sex. They like to have sex. They have sex. You understand? They will have sex with another guy. No problem. Um, and the roles in that are very specific. It's not. There's no like mixing of the roles. You could tell. Today we don't have the specific uh, role names of this we've been talking about. No specific names, not in a respectful way anyway. Because males don't become uh, like females or something, because they like to get fucked by a guy or something. Because they're bisexual, and they like to have sex with a guy, and the guy is doing the fucking. They don't become a female for that reason. Understand what I'm telling you, because they don't. They like the guys that I'm talking about. The one that get fucked by a guy, they don't want to get fucked by a guy any old how. They want to get fucked by a guy in a very in a very manly kind of way. Not like in a bitch. Not like not like a faggot does. Not like how a not like maybe how a homosexual might maybe want to. Okay. They want to be, they want to get fucked by a guy, like, like how a guy would want to fuck another guy, okay? And they would know who could do that for them, and and they don't want to. And then there's those bisexual men who don't want to fuck a guy. They don't want to fuck a guy though. Okay, they're bisexual. They don't never fuck a guy. They don't do that. But they will get fucked by a guy. Then they're bisexuals who want. Ooh, I'll fuck a guy. I'll fuck a guy. Just like how guys will want to be fucked. These are two different versions of bisexual, and it's the same thing for females. What I'm telling you, there's two different versions of bisexual female, and it's just the same exact thing like this. The females just say, I want a female to be with me in how I want how a female does it. Okay, and then there's there's also those who can do that, who want them to do that, and then there's ones who would never do that and don't want to do that. You understand? But both of these are bisexual. Okay, both of them is bisexual, but the roles don't mix, and they're not for relational purposes. No feelings involved in it. They just want to have sex. Just a sexual thing. This is the nature of bisexuality. Um, it is very important to understand what I'm telling you, so we don't have this confusion anymore. Because there's a lot of guys, especially in hip hop, especially in music in general. Why? Because music is so spiritual, and music is so bisexual in nature. Music is a very bisexual thing, really. And so when you get involved in any kind of music is always like uh, feminine and kind of in a nature. You're singing, or you're producing something for people to dance to, or, you know, sing along with, like some kind of melody. And that's fluid. That's kind of, you know. So bisexuals are very much inclined to musical endeavors, artistic endeavors, and the world is ever so musical today. And bisexuals a lot in hip hop, but they don't know it, and that's so sad because there's so many, so many of them who have been fall to victim to a lot of homo shit, a lot of homo shit. A lot of people can't rap properly because they're bisexual, don't know it. A lot of females involved in pop music and all R&B and all these different kind of music are bisexual and don't know it. And then they get all these faggotry involved in this shit, and they don't know why they doing this shit. Listen, you're bisexual, you don't know it. Dua Lipa is bisexual. She's to a very degree aware of it, and she produced very good unisexual music because music is a very unisexual thing. So she knows to produce music in a way that's like guys can listen, females can listen, these can listen, they can listen, they can listen. But if you bisexual, you don't know it, you'll be a female making music, and guys have to listen to that shit, and they're like, "But I can't listen to this." But you made it for guys to listen to. And they're like, "But how the fuck I can't even? What the fuck is this?" You know, that's because you bisexual, you don't know it. You do that, and the same thing for guys. Guys will end up making a lot of shit for females to listen to, but females like, I can't listen to it. What the fuck is this shit? Can't listen to this shit. This is so fucking disrespectful. The fuck is it? They can't listen to this shit. The fuck are you talking about? A lot of guys do this. A lot of guys who try to force females to make music for females that they can't listen to, and females try to make males listen to make music that males can't listen to. For males to listen to that they can't listen to, and who's doing this? Who's doing this? Bunch of bisexuals who don't know their bisexuality. Okay, otherwise you never do that kind of thing, and you just like Dua Lipa kind of make music that's unisexual, just in nature, for everyone to listen to. Understanding the context and the boundaries of what music is meant to be. Okay, all right. Bisexual guy like to fuck another guy. They like fucking guys. They have a good time fucking guys, and it's good. And they fucked good. They like, and then afterwards they're good friends because that was such a good fuck. It's such a good fuck for both of them. It's such a goddamn good fuck. Oh god damn, guys fuck so good. Uh, uh, They're bisexuals. Okay, this is bisexual thing. Bisexual, no, the guy is a good fuck. And honestly, it's so sad because a lot of hip hop guys they were getting raped. Like Diddy is I don't know. Diddy is a faggot for sure, right? But that's because he's bisexual. You don't know it. He definitely bisexual though. And had he known that, he could have got with a lot. It's so weird because the things he was interested in was like being with guys who don't want to be with him. You know, whereas if you're bisexual, just have sex with guys. You know, there's a lot available. But no, he had a kink. He had a kink because he don't know he's bisexual. So he went on full blown faggotry, and and he had this kink where he kind of hold it over people, you know, and basically raping guys and shit like this and this kind of fucking shit. And that's predatory behavior, and it naturally is bred through this misunderstanding of sexuality. And there's a lot of that shit going on in the industry just generally. Uh, Bisexuals, understand your bisexuality. If you're male, understand that's something you like to do, that you want to do, that you want to get fucked. Guys want to have sex. Guys want to have a good fucking by another guy. And there's nothing wrong with it because you're bisexual. There's nothing wrong with it. No one could tell you anything wrong with it because it have no effect on your heterosexuality. Zero. None. This is important for bisexual relations at all. Uh, that there is no relation really in it. And it's all about sex. And it's all about sex in a specific, proper context, in a specific way. Okay? Um, and the same thing for females. It's what I'm telling you is exactly the same way for females as far as bisexuality goes. But they do not like shit, no other kind of shit. And you it's confusing because there's so much faggotry, because so much bisexuality they don't understand that the bisexual and the female world going on. And what they're doing is to appease to males who are bisexual and don't understand it. So when they try to have sex with another female like that, it had nothing to do with it. You understand? It had nothing to do with actually what bisexual would do. You know, it's really more about appealing to these faggots, appealing to, or trying to convert a heterosexual uh, over, or to try to woo them over or something like that. And they wouldn't even be involved in this shit. And they be doing that. And they're not heterosexual, not even there. The other people is not even walking around. But they will just do that because they don't understand the nature that they're bisexual. Okay? When you're bisexual, it's a very strict way about how you go about doing that kind of thing. Um, you never do a certain just disgusting kind of shit. Some of these bitches do. Uh, and then they say that they were having sex with another female. Absolutely not. It's not. That's not that. That's not that. You were trying to appeal to uh, something else. Okay, that doesn't understand their sexuality. That's what you were trying to appeal to because that's where you are, not understanding your sexuality as well. Okay. Whereas, again, female bisexual, when she is interested to have sex with another female, specific way. is in a specific way, and it's females will know what I'm talking about. Cause I'm not female, so I don't entirely know what they like that, but they know. They know, and one will be the one doing the thing, and the other one will be the one receiving, and they know the roles of it, and it's like this specifically, and there's no other way around it. Okay? And it's not for relations; it's just for sex, just sex, and then that's it. Because this is not to disturb their heterosexual, and it's just like that. It's just this way, just this way. This is not going to, this is not to disturb their heterosexual relation. You must preserve and protect and respect the heterosexual relation in this for the female. This has always been this way since ancient time. It had to have been because females had multiple, there were multiple wives to one person. Okay? So they would have sex with each other. And they all had to respect that they were in a heterosexual relation with one person, with the same guy though. So they could never get into a relation with each other, and they wouldn't want to, even if they were having sex with each other. And that's the nature of bisexuality. This is the same when it comes to males as well, for a similar reason. And just respect this. Respect this. Bisexual is in the world. Bisexual is a thing here. And it's the new standard of the world. I asked the AI about this. I said, how many people? If I clearly defined it to it, and I said, how many people do you think fall under the lines of this today? 50 to 60% of the world population today are bisexual. Under the definition I defined it with you here today. 50 to 60% are bisexual and they don't know it. Okay? They don't know it. And then there's a bunch of faggotry in the world because of this. And there's a very small amount of truly heterosexual uh, group, very small amount, make up a couple percentages. And also very small amount of homosexuals. As well. Same, almost the same amount as heterosexual. Very small percentage in the world today. Um, but the faggotry is pervasive. Faggotry is everywhere. Faggotry is all about, and it's disgusting. It's disturbing because these are the ones go out of the way to do all kinds of things that are confusing the world. You know, heinous things because this issue with their sexuality. You don't understand. Okay, breeds this faggotry. Breeds the faggotry. What a faggot is sexual perversion. What a faggot is sexual confusion. What a faggot is misunderstanding of the nature of bisexuality. Okay? Is what it is. Now, bisexual, like I'm telling you, they're interested in sex with same gender, but they're not if someone's not interested in that kind of thing, they're not interested in them at all. They don't compete. Uh, they don't force anyone to be with them. Bisexual. They don't compete for that kind of thing. They don't seek it. They don't go out of their way and say, need to be in. They don't do that because they don't have any need for that. They just are aligned in a certain way. They're just the kind of way to say, yeah, I'll do that. But they're not seeking it. Okay, they don't. Oh, I must have this. I can't help myself, and they don't get that. They just in a kind of way available for something as well. That's it. Um, that's it. But they are what they don't do is what someone who's bisexual and they don't know it. They don't know that they're available for this kind of thing, and you don't know that. You will start doing all this kind of faggotry. Cause you'll feel weird. You will go around and people seeing you a certain way and doing this and they don't and you don't know what's going on. So then you start feeling that, and when you take that energy in, which is coming back to you from you, uh, you don't know how to deal with it. So you start. This is how you behave about it. There's all these factors start behaving like it, the way they do about it. Okay, okay. I hope hope y'all all understand it. It's all clear now, so everyone understands. This is what it is. And now that you understand what I'm telling you, I don't think anyone could see like a guy have sex or bisexuals. Well, if a faggot were to do it, then you would say that was. They said that's gay as fuck. That's what you gotta do. That's gay. But honestly, I think people could see bisexuals, males have sex and be like, God damn, that was the straightest thing I ever fucking saw though. Honestly, that's the fucking straight ass shit. That's what you would say if you saw two bisexual men having sex properly. You say, man, it looks straighter. The sex looks straighter than some people who are heterosexual having sex. Honestly, who say they're heterosexual anyway, having sex. It looks straighter than that shit. It do. It it do. You say, damn. You understand? Okay. Same thing with females too. Same thing with female, and that's some good. That's the good stuff. Uh, and you say, God damn, that's bisexual. Bisexual sex. Again, that's because they respect. There's such a respect there for the boundaries of of the reality that these people are preserving their heterosexuality and they're not having any relations really. There's no relationship involved in what they're doing. It's devoid of any of that, and that's a very important aspect of this going on. Okay, like I said, I also said that males end up doing with the female, but like I said, that's because they don't know it. And even if they did this and they're like, well, I didn't know that I was bisexual when I did that, and they did that. No, no, listen to me when I tell you, no bisexual is going to do that because that's disrespect to their heterosexual relation. So, and it would have to. That's the context of doing that is the disrespect to your heterosexual relation. So, if you do that, no bisexual will ever do that because that's specifically out of bounds kind of thing. And if you ever did that, you like I said, you end up becoming a jealous faggot because that person is not going to stay with you because that's not as I told you, it's disrespect to the to heterosexual relation, and they're gonna inevitably like we're not doing this anymore because what are you doing, and uh, then what happens is the other party will get jealous because they were the one who initiated that kind of shit, which is faggotly, and it's just a faggot thing to do. Okay, this is faggot shit. So um, whoever initiated is gonna get jealous, they're gonna get upset, and they're gonna behave more like a faggot. Okay, this is what they do. This is the difference. I want you to understand the difference. Males cannot do it. Male cannot do that kind of thing. Female can maybe get away with doing it with other female. Okay. Female could. Male cannot. They will get jealous. They get jealous, and they end up on their faggot way. All right, because they're gonna leave. Female can maybe do it, get away with it with another female, and she won't get jealous when they leave. Oh well, she not fucking with me no more. All right, that's the difference.